To be a black ballerina today is extremely difficult. So I cannot imagine what it was like for Raven in the 1950s.
Before there was Misty Copeland, there was Raven Wilkinson. Born on February 2nd, 1935, she would grow up to become the first African-American woman to dance for a major classical ballet company. Wilkinson broke the color barrier in 1955 when she signed a contract to dance full-time with the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo. She was promoted to soloist during her second season with the troupe and remained with the company for 6 years. Wilkinson later became a mentor to American Ballet Theater principal dancer Misty Copeland, who was often regarded as one of America's first modern-day black ballerinas.
Art belongs to everyone. We all must celebrate it and share it. All of our individual cultures that in America, the idealism of our country should make us one, the contributing forces. That is so beautiful and enriching, and this is where our true culture lies, with the enrichment of so much contribution. So we should be very thankful and do everything we can to look forward.
Being an African-American woman, she faced many difficulties while traveling and touring with the troupe, particularly in the segregated South. When the troupe stayed in whites-only hotels, Wilkinson kept her race a secret. She later told an interviewer, "I didn't want to put the company in danger, but I also never wanted to deny what I was. If someone questioned me directly, I couldn't say, 'No, I'm not black,' because I was."
In 1955, Raven Wilkinson had celebrated American dance company, the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo. She was the first black woman hired to dance full-time in a major ballet company. But the director had asked her not to reveal her race.
She's very fair-skinned, but I knew she was black, and she had beautiful feet and a wonderful port de bras and very lyrical, and she fit in quite beautifully.
I went to the South, I stayed in the hotels, I danced on the stage, and in the course of the time, I became a soloist. The director of Ballet Russe gave me the waltz and Les Sylphides my second year in the company, and that was always my part. I did it through thick and thin whenever Les Sylphides was playing, which was a lot, and I loved it.
Wilkinson and the company toured the United States and Canada by bus. One season, they traveled more than 19,000 miles, performing in 91 cities in 25 weeks.
It was tiring. You had to build up a certain endurance. Any company that travels like that and is so intimate day after day becomes a family. And I must say, we were very supportive. We had a wonderful morale and spirit.
The Ballet Russe introduced many Americans to ballet and first popularized the Christmas favorite, the Nutcracker. In small towns and big cities, the company regularly performed before capacity crowds.
I stood there in one theater and I could see the faces. And before I had to make the next move, I just looked out and I saw the most incredible expression on the people's faces of such joy. And I thought to myself, you know, this is a very special blessing to be able to stand here and be a part of something that moves other human beings.
For 2 years, the Ballet Russe ignored Southern segregation laws that made it illegal for Wilkinson to share the stage with white dancers or be with them in restaurants or hotels. By Wilkinson's third season, white backlash to civil rights protests posed a new threat.
The manager of the hotel came over to me and said that they'd asked my company manager if they had a Negro in the company, and he had said no. And he said, but they had gotten the black elevator operator, who was a woman, to identify me, and she thought I was black, a Negro at that time. And I said, well, and so they called a colored taxi, and I took a colored taxi and went to a colored motel. I think some people who were black felt that I was doing what was called passing. And I felt I was going as a human being and an artist. It's in the eye of the beholder. When someone asked me, are you colored? Are you Negro? I said, yes. So that made a problem.
Wilkinson continued to tour with the Ballet Russe, but as racial tensions escalated, she was taken off the program in many southern towns. At times, she had to fly north until the company arrived in a safer location. In 1960, the company's ballet mistress spoke to Wilkinson about her career.
It was suggested that perhaps I'd come to the end of my time in Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo, and she put it this way: we couldn't have a black swan queen, and that I should get out and start a company of my own doing African dances. I had studied classical ballet. I'd given my life and love to it. She had seen it.
Exhausted, Wilkinson left the Ballet Russe. She was not invited to join another company and stopped dancing for several years. Finally, she too left America.
I felt very badly that I had to leave my country and go somewhere else to be a human being and an artist.
Raven Wilkinson faced many of these hardships and struggles in order to be able to pave the way and open doors for many young Black American women who wanted to pursue the same dreams that she once had. Raven Wilkinson having to endure many of these hardships and struggles was not in vain. Misty Copeland, the first African American woman to gain principal dancer status at the American Ballet Theater, has called Raven Wilkinson a mentor. Misty Copeland's children's book, called The Firebird, was inspired by her relationship with Wilkinson. The narrative tells of a young dancer who, with Copeland's help, finds self-confidence and success. Wilkinson presented the 2014 Dance Magazine Award to Copeland in December of that year. In June 2015, Wilkinson received the 2015 Dance USA Trustee Award from presenter Misty Copeland. Wilkinson's biography is included in Black Ballerina, a full-length documentary. The film tells the story of 3 Black ballerinas from the past, Wilkinson, Dolores Brown, and Joan Myers Brown, and contrasts their experiences with those of 3 young Black dancers presently pursuing ballet careers.
I'm Misty Copeland, soloist with American Ballet Theater.
And I'm Raven Wilkinson, a retired ballet dancer, enjoying just the art of ballet and dance itself these days.
Raven, congratulations on receiving the Dance USA Trustees Award.
Thank you, Misty. Thank you for presenting it to me. What an honor. And I also would like to say thank you to Dance USA. It's not just that I'm receiving this wonderful honoring, but I have to thank you not just for giving it to me, which is such a privilege to be able to receive it from your organization, but the fact of what you are doing for dance in the United States of America, which is truly where dance is developing and going into the future. And you, I can say when I started out, we didn't have anything like a structure, this corporate structure, if you will, that will assist us as dancers and artists. And I thank you so much for the efforts that you have brought forth in behalf of dancers. I must say that that's truly a dancer's world, because that is what dancers do. They support each other. They go as far and as wide and get there however they can get there. And that's the spirit of the dance. And I want to thank you so much for this honoring. I carry it in my heart and soul.
You've had such an incredible career. dancing with the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo, Dutch National Ballet. You've just had such a fulfilling and incredible career, and you mean so much to the ballet community. You have done for me something that I never imagined would happen halfway through my career, which was to kind of spark this amazing curiosity in me and really help me to find my place in the ballet world as an African-American ballerina. So the world should know about you because you've done so much for me, and I think I'm kind of carrying that light that you gave me for the next generation of brown ballerinas. Thank you.
What an honor for you to say that to me, Misty. Coming from you, that's such an honor, and such an honor to receive this Trustees Award.
Good. I'm glad
Truly,
that you feel
truly
that way
honored,
too.
yes.
What have been moments for you that have stood out in your career as a ballerina?
Well, I think the first thing was to get into a company like the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo, and because I had such endeavor, and I realized it was going to be very difficult. Mm-hmm. I don't know why one doesn't think of this right away, but I think with hope you just charge ahead. I received my first solo, the waltz in Les Sylphides. Are you going to do it?
I will be premiering the waltz this season.
Oh,
in Les
isn't that
Sylphides.
amazing? I hope your jetés are good. I know they are.
It says a lot about a person to make it as a ballerina #1, but to be in your shoes in the time that you were introduced to the ballet world and started out as a professional, even if you don't feel that you are in a place where you have a voice or you feel that you're representing so many, you were and you are, and I think you have to be an incredibly strong person and passionate to stick it out even when times are extremely tough, as you experienced. So thank you for sticking it out, because that's why I'm here.
Well, that's how you were supposed to be. As dancers, that's what we always do.
Yes.
I think anybody will understand that. Dance
it's
USA
true.
will certainly understand that from
Absolutely.
putting forth that structure to preserve and
Absolutely.
carry on dance.
What advice do you have for emerging dancers of color?
Just keep at it.
Yeah.
Just keep going and always have hope and leave yourself open for times that are disappointing. Nothing goes straight up. It's in those times that you learn the most sometimes.
Absolutely.
And but don't get discouraged. I mean, it's natural to feel a little discouraged and depressed. I can't tell you how many times I cried and ached inside. Reading the mission from Dance USA, I see all of us being carried on in the field of the classical ballet and arts in general. I mean, and yes, arts in general, but certainly the art of dance, which includes so many things. But it is certainly so strong, and I am just so joyful about that.
What do you see for the future of classical ballet in this country?
Well, you know, I think it will rise again, no? And I think it always has been rising to its heights, and it will continue to do so. I cannot see the death of ballet, because it's such a beautiful art, and it says so much to the audience.
So you see a very bright future
I
for
do.
classical ballet
I
in this
do.
country.
I do. It hasn't died in all these hundreds of years. I don't think we could kill it yet. Well, I have to be so honored that you are saying that to me. It is such an honor for me.
Love you.
I think that Raven is a very special case, because I think that she was so good at making the worst situations into a learning experience or something that she made into a good situation. It's amazing that we found each other, and that it kind of just came full circle, you know, for her to be able to witness my promotion to principal dancer, to be able to have her come onto the stage during my curtain calls of my New York debut of Swan Lake was really overwhelming. But she told me she didn't think she'd ever see a black woman become a principal dancer in an elite company. To have her walk into events and walk into the ballet, and for people to like recognize her and give her the due credit that she deserved all of these years, I think, again, is just kind of part of what I think my purpose was to be here, to tell the stories of all of these Black ballerinas, especially Ravens. There's just no real record of our existence through history. And the more stories we tell of Black dancers, the more that we can make it our history and make ballet our own.
Raven Wilkinson died on December 17, 2018, at the age of 83. She will forever be loved and remembered as one of America's obscure, yet phenomenal, African-American ballet dancers. Thank you, Raven Wilkinson, for not only opening doors for girls like Misty Copeland, but for girls like me, who grew up loving the art of dance, and for girls who will grow up loving the art of dance for years to come.